welcome to the Chicago History Museum's costume collection. My name is Jessica Pouchor, and I'm the collection manager here. With more than 50,000 costumes and textile artifacts, the Chicago History Museum's collection is one of the nation's premier clothing and fashion collections. It spans the breadth of Chicago's history and is particularly strong in material from the late 19th century to the present. The museum's collection uses clothing as a powerful lens to understanding the city's social history and communicating these stories to visitors.
In addition to our 3D clothing collection, the museum also houses countless 2D fashion research materials. Stay tuned for an exploration of these resources and how you can access them. The Abacanovich Research Center, or ARC, at the Chicago History Museum is free to visit and no appointments are needed. Access to certain materials may require advance notice, however, so we recommend you reach out to ARC staff at research@chicagohistory.org before your visit, with the call numbers of the materials you would like to view. To discover relevant materials in the Fashion Research Files, you'll first head to the Research Center's catalog, Archie, and search Fashion Research Files. In that top result, you'll find a link to the finding aid that describes the collection's material in detail. Once you have that open, you can use Control-F to navigate the finding aid and look for specific items that might help your research, such as paper dolls, patterns, and more. The materials here all relate to clothing, shoes, and accessories from around 1860 to 1999. Additionally, about 1/3 of the files pertain to clothing designers, manufacturers, and distributors. If you're looking for images of clothing specifically, the Costume and Textiles Image Gallery should be your first stop. Here, over 300,000 digitized fashion images are organized into useful galleries. Here, under the designer galleries, you can explore the art of famed fashion illustrator Antonio Lopez. If you're doing research on a specific era, you won't want to miss the Garments by Year galleries. 1870 through 1909 has some excellent images of the fashions of Gilded Age Chicago. Or maybe you'd just like to revisit an exhibition that you came to at the Chicago History Museum in the past, such as the critically acclaimed Inspiring Beauty, which covered iconic looks that were featured at ebony fashion fairs. One of the most interesting ways to browse is by object type. In this case, we have a gallery of underwear, corsets, and lingerie that gives you a peek into how these items have changed throughout the years. Finally, we have Topics and Themes, which allows you to explore clothing images of primarily garments in use, such as this gallery of wedding-related photos that features gowns and tuxes, as well as brides and grooms wearing them at their weddings. Level up your research with our Costume Library Guide. This guide contains links to all of the resources covered here, such as the Costume and Textiles Gallery that we just explored. The guide also links out to our digital collections website, Carly, which offers more detailed information on specific garments, including information about the materials used and previous owners. Take, for instance, this cape owned by Babette Mandel. Scrolling down, we can see some more information about her life. This section here links to fashion-related materials in Archie by subject heading. So if you want to see all the resources the ARC has that relates to fashion designers, just click on that subject and it'll take you to the Archie search results. This guide also has a list of primary and secondary sources that can be viewed at the Research Center, including the Fashion Research Files and archival materials from people in the fashion industry in Chicago. We are thrilled to be able to offer public access to approximately 260 linear feet of research materials that span a century and a half of clothing history. If you're someone who is interested in clothing and how it shapes our world, come visit us. Here's just a small sampling of the kinds of treasures you might encounter in the Fashion Research Files of the Chicago History Museum.